Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about the race I entered, the TKO, the Tennessee Knockout. I figured I'd talk more in depth about that. You know, I registered for that, so I'm set to go. The idea is I'm going to be driving out there with another individual, Crash Hard Enduro. If you haven't seen his channel or his Instagram, he's like Instagram famous. He has like 40,000 plus followers. That guy's channel, or I should say Instagram, is growing rapidly. But if you're one of my followers, check out his YouTube channel and his Facebook page. He's an awesome guy. So I'll be going with him out to the TKO. So far it's just the two of us in the truck. We're going to have an enclosed trailer. We're going to be loading up a bunch of guys' bikes, including ours. And we're going to be hauling the bikes and the helmets and the riding gear out to Jasper, Tennessee. That's where we're going to be staying. That's where the hotel rooms are. And so the guys that we have the bikes for, they're going to be flying out to Nashville, running a vehicle, and, you know, we'll meet them up in Jasper and hang out and all that stuff. But we're basically the sag wagon, if you will, the vehicle that's going to be taking all these bikes out there. And so, you know, we'll be having our gas and stuff, and I don't know if the hotels, but they're going to be taking care of us to do it. Plus, you know, we're racing too. The idea behind the race isn't really to chase points, because none of us are really at that level. It's just to go have fun, to go enter it, just to take a ride like we do, like this video you're watching, a typical ride we do through some canyons, through some boulder fields, and just have fun. And no matter where we place in the prologue, we're going to all start at the same time. Well, same time meaning I think it's like 30 seconds in between or something like that, whatever it's going to be, before they release you, you know, one after another. We're just going to go at the last. We're just going to go last, and that way we'll all just go at the same time. I mean, none of us really are going to be able or capable of finishing the TKO, as it's a knockout format, meaning day one, you know, you have to, if you don't complete it, you're knocked out. And I don't recall if it's 2 or 3 days, but so on and so forth. You get knocked out until it's basically the pros, the top riders, that are going to be able to finish. If for some reason one of us make it through, that's going to just be like bragging rights, but I don't think any of us will, especially going last. We're going to have a lot of stuff, I mean, by stuff, I mean people, like, that probably shouldn't be out there, kind of like us, just having fun, where they're just going to be like every which way, and who knows if we'll get through the obstacles because it's jammed up. Who knows, right? I think the funnest part's going to be the prologue, because you're going to go through the prologue, and it could be jammed up in spots depending what's ahead, and I guess you can kind of wait to go type thing. You can go, I guess, whenever. I don't quite understand, just from some other YouTube videos I've watched. So you kind of just want to pick a spot where maybe people are reporting it's not, you know, clogged with others in certain areas, and just go. I don't know. I'm not too worried about that, because I think I'm good enough where I can pick alternate lines, right? I don't need the easiest line. I've been watching a lot of the TKO videos, and I'm just like, wow, you know, it's just a boulder field that we're typically riding on, and if I have to go to the right, I can go right. If I need to go up over the huge thing, I can actually do that. You know, like, I know my capability. I can go up over that. So I don't know. I don't see a huge deal there. I think I'll be able to do the prologue. That's going to be the most exciting aspect to it for me, is the prologue, not necessarily the race, because not being a racer, not chasing points, I don't care where I get in the field of the race. So yeah, no, I'm going to take it one day at a time, and maybe that prologue is just going to wear me out, where I'm going to be like, man, the race, and I'm just not going to do good because I'm just tired. You know, I'm 47 years old, people. You know, I had this idea of racing back in my 30s, and I just never got around to doing it. You know, I had a kid, and got to be around for the kid. So, you know, I don't regret that. That's just life, you know. Some of us are dealt different hands, and my life has been pretty good, so no complaints, and yeah, I can't really complain, you know. It's like, I wish I could have done what I set out to do back 10 years ago, which was to go race Red Bull Romaniacs. That was my dream. That was my goal, to actually just go do that. At that time, you could go over there, fly over, rent a motorcycle, pay extra for if you wanted new tires every single day, and I like priced it all out, and it was going to come to like $12,000 at the time. I thought it was pretty reasonable. Probably would actually be like 15, 18,000, because I kind of want to go a little early just to make sure I'm there, make sure I'm acclimated to the area, check out the area, do some sightseeing. Plus, after the race, recuperate. I just don't want to get on a plane and I'm all tired and wore out and come back. Like, maybe recuperate, 3 or 4 days after, and just spend like this long time there and seeing the countryside and doing all that touristy stuff, also figuring it was going to be like a once in a lifetime thing. I didn't plan I would ever do that over and over again, so I never did that. That's why I got a 2-stroke to begin with. So it's about time I actually do some sort of race. I think I'm capable. I mean, watching some of the videos, I'm like, wow, that person didn't make it far into the prologue, and they're off to the side, just looks like they're ready to die, cry, They're just wetting their riding pants because of the over the head they are. And a lot of people don't understand boulder fields and this. The great thing is, here in Colorado, we ride a lot of that stuff, so I'm used to rocks. Now, I have ridden Tennessee. The rocks are different in Tennessee than they are here. They're a little more slimy, they're mossy, they're more slick than they look, but it's still rocks, and for the most part I can ride rocks as long as water's not flowing down it and I don't get to any of those sections where things might be wet or it's raining out. That's where I'll be miserable. If it happens to be raining, I'm going to be like, do I really want to race or am I just spectating? I don't know. I'd probably still go ahead and try, but as far as the prologue, but I don't know. If it was going to be rainy on race day, I don't know if I'd actually want to try. I mean, it's like $100 to enter, plus an AMA membership, which they're good. I let it lapse because of COVID and all that good stuff, and I was just like, I don't need this membership, not putting on events myself anymore, so I didn't really need AMA. But it's okay. I don't mind giving them money. They are a good organization, so, there's that. And so that's pretty much, my expectations is I'm going for the fun of it. I'm going for the group. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be there with buddies. We're going to be poking each other, making fun of each other. We're going to be drinking. We're going to be laughing. It's going to be about a group experience. So if you can do a race like this or any other race and you can do it with a bunch of buddies for your first time, that's probably the way to go, really, because you're probably not going to be the only one with a question, and maybe somebody else already has that question answered, and it's going to help guide you, hold your hand, if you will, to be able to go there and just have a good time. Whereas if I was a lone wolf going into this, and I've looked into racing by myself before, and I just didn't get really much answers from the racing community. They were just like, read the race page, and I'm just like, well, I don't even know what this means, and what do I exactly do? And I lost interest on any type of hare scrambles locally in Colorado because of that. Like is it RMEC or whatever, or Crocs or those? I've looked into those before, and I'm not into racing in the dust type person. I'm not that's not for me. I want an extreme. I want a boulder field. I want huge tires, huge trees. I just want things that make you go slow, so I drop the bike. I'm probably just going to step off it unless somebody like loops their bike on top of me and it helps injure myself. Like, I'm not going to blame them because it's a race environment. I know that can happen, but I figure it's less likely if I'm not going at really high speeds, right? It's going to be like the stuff you see me here, just at a quicker pace. Like, I'm by myself this day once again, so I'm taking it really easy on this trail because I know it's a trail where if I F up, I'm going to be out there probably over the night, and it's freezing, minus temperatures lately at night. Not going to be a good thing. Not going to be a good thing. So, and do I want to press that PLB? Probably not, but I would probably have to out where I'm at in this video. So, you got to be careful. So I'm riding really slow in this video on this trail because I just, I know there are spots. I know I can get through it. So, I'm just like strolling through the boulders, and that's how I'm going to treat the TKO. I'm just out there with 500 of my good friends, and we're just going through the boulder fields all together. My thing is going to be like looking at people and hopefully getting a lot of good recording of people just doing silly things. And I don't know, just having a good time out there, not really taking it serious. I'm sure we will take it serious as a group because, you know, poking each other and laughing at them. Hey, the bike's upside down on you. Ha ha, as you like go by and stuff, or they go by you. You know, I don't know. It's going to be pretty good. As far as like future plans for racing. You know, I don't know. It's way too early to know that. Like I said, I did have a dream about doing Red Bull Romaniacs at one point, but that dream kind of died just because I got on older and I realized me going there and riding and doing something like that and really pushing myself, man, that's going to take a lot out of me. So, I don't know. I would still like to go spectate something like that overseas. But here in the States, I was thinking about doing grinding stone because it's out west. We're used to that slick rock, you know, sandstone. We're used to sand out in like Moab when we go out there and ride all the time. So I think grinding stone was going to be a good fit, but a lot of guys wanted to do the TKO, and a lot of people couldn't line up doing grinding stone. They couldn't take the time off work or whatever. So TKO it is this year. I would still love to try grinding stone, so that might be something I would try. Like I said, I'm getting older, you know, 47 now, I'll be 48 next year if I do grinding stone. So I'm getting up there in age, and unfortunately you think, well, you get up there in age and you get to ride these vet classes. Well, the vet classes are people that were like A riders, and they're freaking sandbagging being a, you know, vet class. Like, they're still like awesome riders. So unfortunately, racing, from what I hear from people that know a lot more about it than I do, there's a lot of sandbaggers in different classes. There's an electric class now for like TKO, and so it's like, oh well, maybe I could borrow the Teleria Sting and you know, and take that and do the electric classes. But somebody pointed out like that has a bunch of sandbaggers in it. They have like A rider level riders, you know, that are maybe a little older or might not be a little older that are going into that because it's just new, you know. So they go and do the electric class, but they're really good riders. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. You're gonna have, as they put it, a lot of sandbaggers in the electric. So unfortunately, there's not a real amateur class. They might call what I'm in an amateur C class, but at the end of the day, you pretty much put yourself in a class. As long as you're not a pro or been out there, no one's going to say anything. And it's truly my first. I wish there was a class that is like, this is your first race. Even if it was just made up of 10 people, that would be great, because those 10 people, they could take aside and say, hey, this is what it's about. Then maybe just give you that little extra attention that a new rider would need coming into this, that would also get them to come back year after year and not be an amateur or their first time, and now they're there for their 10th time, you know, and they're loving it, they're enjoying it. So I wish the race promoters had something like that, because that is something I know myself I would personally like. I'm one of those people, you need a show, like, here, step by step. You can't just tell me to go read a bunch of rules and say, that's what you do. That means nothing to me. I look at that, I'm just like, yeah, it's a bunch of words on a screen. I don't know. So how do I register? How do I sign up? What do I do? Does my bike qualify? I need to be one of those people that you're walk through. And I know it's just not me. There's other people like that. So you get discouraged. And I brought this up once, and people said, yeah, I looked into racing too, but then I got discouraged because no one was willing to help me. None of the ex-racers or the racers are willing to, like, show you what to do. So unless you grew up with, like, hey, dad shows you what to do because he raced, and you show your kid, well, sorry, I didn't have that. My father bought me my first dirt bike, but we then moved overseas, so I never did the race thing. I would have probably, as a kid, if we would have stayed in Texas at the time, I would have probably went out and raced. I don't know what type of tracks or what, you know. I was young, I was like, I want a dirt bike. He bought me a Honda CR60, 1984. I still have it, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. but I didn't have that, you know, hand-holding experience of it. My father's done this, and this is what you do to race. So I wish a lot of these organizations would consider helping out, mentoring people so they can come out and race. And that's what I need. I need somebody to show me from start to finish. Well, now I have a group of people, so some of us are in this for our first time, and we're going to have other people that are going to know what to do, so it's going to be real easy to figure out. If I have the question, I got a buddy that can be like, hey, what am I doing? You know, where am I? When are we starting? What was that again? You know, so that will be pretty good to know, and a wealth of information from other riders to help you out. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you could, check out the description. It's going to help the channel out, because if you click on that Amazon affiliate link, you don't have to buy what I have there. Just go to that link, do your normal shopping, and then that will help the channel out by costing you absolutely zero. I get a piece of the commission, if you will, from what you buy. So if you go buy a laptop computer or a smoker or something, I'm gonna get a little piece of that pie. If you buy a smoker, I think it's like 30 or something dollars. Maybe it might have been 60 bucks. I've had like 2 people buy smokers over the years, and then that's great. That's good commission. That's actually pretty awesome. So go there, check out my Amazon affiliate link. I hope to have my stickers soon, and I'm going to be selling those, not for a lot of money, probably like $2-3, you know, including putting in the postal mail and mailing those out. And that will be a way that you can support me, support the racing, support these videos. Have a good one. Stay well, stay safe. Bye.